Greetings, my name is Johnny Recker, and you're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. I'd like to start our show by thanking our regular sponsor, Arknight, whose maps, props, and minis bring our game to life. I want to draw your attention to KiloWhat and her awesome show art. Seriously, go check it out. Listen, in anticipation for meeting all of you at various cons this year, we brought a ton of Demon Dayz logo stickers to hand out. Turns out 2020 had other plans. They're burning a hole in our pockets, and we hear that the post office could use the help. So here's the deal. Write us a review on your favorite podcast service, take a screen grab, and send that and an address to thesedemondayz@gmail.com. That's with a Z, just like our Twitter handle. We know that some of you folks are a few episodes behind, so our plan is to keep this promotion going until all the stickers we currently have in stock are gone. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. Stay safe out there. We love you, and now, on to today's episode.
Friends, fiends! When last we spoke, our heroes were... Wait. What? No ale left. Really? Oh, fuck, I feel like I should leave. What do you have?
Bean water?
Bean water. Oh, fine. Give me all of it, I guess. Oh. Now where was I? Oh yes, our heroes followed a bunch of cultists to the mountain known as Usurper's Fall, and have just encountered a few more inside. Looks like they're going to play it less murdery this time around, so we'll see how that goes in these Demon Dayz.
Yeah, you see a hand pop through with just like a thumbs up of the hole. It's like, all right, you're good. Just wait, and we'll summon you in. Take all the time you need.
Cool. Great. And I want to look through. So there's definitely someone in the other slit, right? And I just want to try to see how far. I want to maybe just take if I can, like a nice slow circular walk. Like it's kind of like turning a bus around really slowly, like just to get a little bit further past the arrow slits to try to see into the room a little bit more.
Yeah, let me open it up for you a little bit more, Fetter, as you do this. Yeah, you take a long way, and the two guards there don't seem to find it weird that you would walk in, just kind of seeing what the fuss is about. Cultists by nature are very curious. You've been able to pick up on that at least. Mm-hmm. And so you catch that there's still one more cultist in your little walk around in waiting. Mm-hmm. Kind of just chilling, waiting for a signal from his fellow on the opposite side.
Right.
And the other one is has advanced too far down for you to be able to see them at this point. You get a little bit more of a view of the bridge itself, and so you get it extends for a while, a little while.
Okay.
And yeah, so right now you're kind of in this waiting period. They're going to know that you're there, but they don't know that you guys are you.
Did everybody else leave from behind me, or like did they go back outside? Or
yes,
I just want to huddle them up and be like, all right, so there's two beefier looking lads hiding behind those doors, and there's one of the runners a little bit farther down. Someone already, I pretty much told them that we've got the stuff and we're going to be headed their way. So I think that's probably a good, again, confusion is best, right? Like more than they knowing that something's up, I would rather them know that, there's someone to expect and then have it go wrong. Can anyone else disguise themselves at all? I mean, or do we just, I make a distraction, we come in and just try to quickly and quietly kill the three other guards that are in there?
The elk and I slowly turn and look at each other and shake our heads.
I mean, I'm very good at ironically blending in.
Right, so you just want to act all Aaron-yessy? Do you guys want to get some fucking robes or something? Try to cover yourselves?
That might work.
You look behind you and Sunny's already got a robe on. She's already got a robe and hood on.
Yeah, try to go for the less bloody ones,
Sunny looks at the one that she just put on, and it's fucking bloody as hell.
Yeah, did the
She takes it
back
off.
the back's all blown out.
Yeah, she takes it
Does it
back.
look like someone took a shotgun to the ribs? Yeah.
Yep, and then she tries again and finds a better one, but she looks a little bit sheepish as she does so.
I'll prestidigitate some of the blood out. Right, so I mean, do we try to just, they said they were going to call for us, but I'd rather, let's not do anything on their time. Do you want to keep moving? Do we want to, again, like, what do you think, jump or just try to get by? Taz, you got any mind googly magic you can do on these guys? What do you think?
I'm gonna go over and take the, not the red one and not the purple one, but the other one, the other araignées. I can't remember the color.
The orange one?
The orange one. I'm gonna go take whatever the orange one's wearing.
Okay. Yeah, her wear, her armor and clothing and leathers were a little bit more worn out and more orange pieces, but you can get the sense that they were weathered.
I'll put that on over my clothes.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah.
I mean, you just try to walk on by and then fight them if we have to?
Worst case scenario, assuming there isn't more than one at a time that we're having to deal with, like, I can suggest them. I can also charm the other person.
Then Yusuf, Sunny, you guys all like hoods up and then you stay back and then we'll just try to bullshit our way past and be ready to fucking throw down if shit goes weird.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, works for me.
I mean, or we could just wait for them to summon us, but I think we want the element of being able to move freely, right? We want to be able to set our own pace.
Yep.
All right, Taz, shall we?
I like stretch a little bit.
I've only got this visage for an hour.
It's hold on, it's been a couple years since I had to do things like this, so okay, here we go. All right, yeah, we're ready.
Okay.
I find a robe and put it on.
And Sunny's like, all right, you look nice. You look pretty evil. And yeah, you guys are all costumed up and ready to bullshit your way in.
Oh boy.
John, I'm going to take some straps from another robe and wrap the hilt and handle of the sword as well.
Oh, good plan. Yeah. And you do that.
Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna take it to chance if they do, like, once we get in and I'm able to see them, I'm just gonna do a really quick, like, hand tut and charm them, so they'll need to make wisdom saves.
Okay.
All right, so get ready to, because I'll walk back. It's been a minute or two, John, of us getting stuff ready. All right, I'm gonna walk in fairly authoritatively and be like, sorry lads, they just got on the horn and they want us to go ahead and move forward. So I'm all for waiting on your runner or whatever, but orders from high up there. Sorry, I gotta.
Yeah. Roll deception.
Sure.
I'll assist. Not that you need it, but I'll assist.
High side on the deception. Oh, that's not great. It's a 12.
12?
But advantage. Did you get it?
Yeah, it was I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Dang it! Ugh.
I rolled a 3
Yeah.
for them. So they're in it. They're fine. They are not discerning enough in this particular instance of nuance between other cultists and arriving parties, other than just you're wearing the robes, you're walking authoritatively, and for now it's working well for you.
And I'm gonna kind of like side-eye Taslin a little bit, and just keep walking, and just be like, do.
Yep.
As I get close to the bridge, I want to stop long enough to kind of, again, just do like a visual check for any sort of trappy stuff as we're kind of slowly walking through.
Sure.
It was 21.
Oh yeah, no traps there. It's a pretty standard bridge, nothing too devious. And as you pass up to that point, you do see that where you guys came from, that little system of corridor was there to at least put a check in place of anyone visiting, waylaying them, and things like that. Mm-hmm. And they're just standard grunt guards with a little bit of magic on them to help out with it.
Cool.
But as you get to the bridge, you start to see more, and you finally see what's giving off the light. And you look over the bridge as you start to cross it, and you see at the bottom of this chasm a river of lava that seems to be holding on as best it can, or just that the top layer itself has started to cool off above the moving lava. And from your height, it still gives off a lot of heat, but you're still quite a ways up from it. But that's what's giving off that light. And as you progress through the bridge, you start to see the opening start to close in places with evidence of cave-ins and things like that. So you're walking into more of a place that seems to have experienced a lot of damage lately. You start to pass along the bridge, and you see what appears to be the ruins of a dwarven market, which precede a relatively intact and very dwarven designed cathedral.
Sorry, John, we kept up with them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm about ready to look over my shoulder and just make sure everybody's.
Yeah, like I hope you guys did.
If they're with us, I'm once I get a sense of that there's not anything dangerous there, I will proceed across the bridge and into kind of the market.
Yeah.
John, I'm gonna have Gallahan stay outside.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna have him try and find a spot that he can post up and just kind of sentry for us, because he and I can communicate telepathically within a mile. So I want him to just give me a shot if he sees anything heading our way or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, he faithfully heads back out to be a watch, and you guys make your way across the bridge. And as I said, you notice the ruins of a marketplace.
Oh boy.
And before you is a fountain dried out, and you see that cathedral that most of its roof and upper exteriors are torn away from age and destruction, and it's a bit lopsided in places, but for the most part it is the most intact of the things, and still kind of the most ornate looking of the things. And standing outside of it, just lounging around the fountain, you see a horned devil, tall, thick, with multi-jointed legs and horns that extend up and back in a very cartoonish and exaggerated way. I guess think Yzma hair, like just way back like that.
Pull the lever, Kronk! Wrong lever!
It's dinner time!
And you see in her right hand, in her just very strong grip, carrying a long double-sided fork that at the tips you see it giving off a little bit of a purple pulsing heat. Tazlin, from what you've remembered from lessons in the past, I would still do a history check to get the specifics with your mother and spirit walking and things like that.
Now, is this anything that I would have come across in Dis?
Yes.
Can I roll as well?
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing history.
Yeah.
15.
15?
Oh man, only an 8. Womp womp.
All right. So, Tazlin, the way they carry themselves, you feel almost like you would guess that they're from Phlegothos. Just the way that they carry themselves very languidly, more so than horned devils might. And Fetter, you know this, that horned devils are very lazy, a little bit more prone to let people do things for them, but they're also pretty hardy and good for keeping an eye on things and just being the boss, the foreman of any sort of activity. But there aren't that many in Phlegothos compared to, like, say, Dis or the other places. But a few, Fiorina does collect and brings them in. So, Tazlin, you remember Cheshire bringing that up, that she collects a lot of different disparate demons and devils sometimes for her purposes.
I would love to kind of look, or kind of again catch everybody's eyes, keep my head down, and I want to try to cut to, because I mean theoretically, if we're trying to get to the Titan, broad strokes, we want to head west, right? So I would really just try to, like, now Assassin's Creed style, unassuming, just try to walk off to essentially what would be my right and head west, like at the top part of this market. Just try not even to catch the attention of these people.
Okay.
Stick with them.
If you're going to try to do that, I would say roll
Stealth
on that, just because.
I mean, it feels like we're all going to, because I'm assuming everyone's sticking with us.
Which is going to be interesting with Yusuf, because your armor gives you a disadvantage, right?
Yep.
Sure does. Guys, I rolled a 2. I mean, that still becomes a 9. God damn. Well, it was fun while it lasted.
You hear in a very booming voice, and deeper.
I'm stealthing at a 17.
17? They rolled pretty high. 20.
Yeah, my stealth is just 18.
You hear the booming voice just echo along the halls. What is the hurry? Come, I've heard of your arrival. Come over, stay with us a bit. Let us sup.
And I'll just kind of look to them and be like, the rest of you piss off and relax. And then just to try to give them some space. Mm-hmm. And then I will start to head forward.
Sunny just looks at there's a tent near you guys, a little overhang, like a little remaining market thing. She's just looking at it on the ground in its just devastated state, like, interesting, very interesting. Kind of playing nonchalant. And yeah, the horn devil saunters over to you. So, you guys have arrived. I was wondering if we would be getting any visitors this century.
Yeah, I know, right? It's awful business. Now, she's speaking in Common or she's speaking in Infernal?
She would have started speaking in Infernal to you.
Yeah, cool. And I'm wearing the Aranyas, the one of their like clothing, but obviously I still look like me, so I'm
okay.
They're in the cultist robes. I didn't walk up with him, but I'm kind of hanging out against the wall, like nonchalantly picking my nails.
Okay.
Yeah, we and I'll respond in Infernal. Yeah, we left the equipment outside. We're waiting to hear back from we sent word ahead. I don't know, I just got a message that they wanted a couple of folks to go to towards the Titan. I don't know. I don't know why, but you know.
Whoa.
Who am I to fucking, you know, they ask and we answer, right? That's how this goes.
Indeed, I know how it is. Why don't you come join us, all of you? Don't be shy.
I really don't. We had enough trouble getting here. I really don't want to disappoint the folks ahead of us, you know what I mean? Time's a ticking.
Well, so far it's just you guys. We were waiting for any word from anyone, and you're the first to come through our doors in a little while, so... Doesn't mean there aren't more coming from other directions, mind you, but it's just us.
Yeah, so we got here first, huh?
Yes. Yeah, it's, if anything, you know, you're early. These things tend to take time, and they bring people like me in, and I can wait, you know? I don't mind lazing about.
Yeah, but I really don't want to, you know, you guys are having such a nice time, and, you know, slow going, but... I don't know, it seemed like they really wanted us to head towards the Titan, so, you know, don't want to upset the bosses. We're already, you know, I run a tight ship, but it feels like we're a little behind schedule, you know? I don't want to...
Well, as far as bosses go, you've reached fairly close to the top of this operation, at least. I am kind of the one in charge of this little expedition for now, and why don't we talk about... the plans ahead and the troubles we've been having. You know, if anything, I might enlist your guys' help as backup.
Oh, fantastic. Sure. You know, I'm sorry. We've been all over the place. What was your name again?
My name is Ezekiela, and you see her wave a hand back and just snap her clawed fingers, and you hear some chains, and out from back you see two chain devils emerge. They have to duck through the doorway to get out. And you notice that they're very tall and very oddly proportioned, as chain devils would be, with chains everywhere. That is the only thing that they are wearing. And one seems to be wearing a mask that looks like it was stitched together using a fox's and goblin's face. And the other one is wearing a mask that looks like it was stitched together using a direwolf's and an elf's face. And they are glistening and bloodied, as if they were having some fun. Meet my friends, meet my bodyguard, Demise and Evisceration. And they nod very slowly, silently to you.
Good names, very classic.
We have fun here. Well, fun that you can have in a fucking dwarven hold while you're waiting to get into the cool place.
Yeah, I know, right? I can't wait to get back to Dis after all this is over.
Oh, Dis, you say. Nice. Haven't been there in an age. How is it hanging?
Same as it ever was, you know. Always, you know, happy for the work, moving some souls around, always making sure that the knife that ends up in your back isn't your own, am I right?
Yes. Isn't that just... Yeah, no, I would like to visit there one day, but I fear that I'm going to be busy with Fiona's work for quite a long time. So it's nice to see some from the other hells represented.
Certainly, you know, it's a broad coalition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about your other friends? They're just hanging around awkwardly. Let's keep this... I don't know. I don't like this air of hesitation. Join us. Come on.
Listen, like, the humans, they smell weird. Like, come on, like, let's just don't... They don't deserve to bask in your horned glory.
You sense that she likes that. Like, oh, yeah.
I've been traveling around with these goddamn meat sacks for weeks, and I'm frankly a little sick of it. So, I understand, like, cut me a break, you know what I mean? Like...
Yes.
I would love to, like, hang out with our kind and fucking have a drink and not have to worry about smelling their goddamn blood on all the goddamn time.
Well, then if you insist they stay out here, they can stay out here. I'm sure that...
Yeah, fuck them.
I'm just like rolling my eyes and silently gagging on the inside.
Yes, and in fact, I was just about to sit down for some dinner.
Sure.
Well, meal, if you will. I don't know what you guys call it on the plane. It's always dinner this or lunch this. I fucking don't care.
I know, it's so much time. Our poor tiny little lives are going by so fast. Like,
I just eat when I'm fucking hungry. And
just sit down and eat, yeah. Come on.
So yes, those that you deem worthy can come with you.
They can fucking sit, and then I'm just gonna kind of like look over my shoulders.
I give him like the slightest shake of the head, basically being like, don't you dare go off without at least one of us.
And I'm like, you want to fucking come on? Like, well, she can come, but humans stay put and be grateful.
And you see Sunny's like cloak nod. Her back is to everyone, just nods like, yes.
And I'm just secretly thinking to myself, we never said we need a word. We need a code word. Fuck. All right. Well, where's food? Let's do this. And I'm also like mentally trying to clock down the hour of this disguise I have. All right. Let's yeah.
Oh boy.
I just kind of like push off the wall and like throw some rations at their feet and then walk over. And I kind of give Yusuf this look like it's not personal, just deal with it.
And yeah, you see the cultist who was sent to go down and like he's like, oh hi, yeah, and like waves at you eagerly like, oh cool, they looked at me, and then heads off towards the other humans to just be like casually like, oh yeah, I'm with other people who are not so devilish.
Hi, I'm Cultist Dave. Nice to meet you.
Hi guys, do you have any hobbies? I like yo-yos and paperback magazines.
Oh God.
Yusuf's gonna move to the other side of this tent.
Okay, and yeah, the chain devils themselves, they stay outside and they're waiting till they're called. And you guys go in to the cathedral, and the inside of the cathedral is still fairly beautiful despite the destruction. And at the end, you see a mostly intact but dried out ornate fountain. I guess these doors had a thing with fountains. It's beset on both sides by destroyed statues. Pews and chairs are all piled up on either side of the walls inside here, just tossed aside, like fuck the pews. And in the middle is instead a very makeshift long table with chairs around it and a meal. And on the table, you see stretched out, sans a head, sans hands, and sans feet, the cut into body of a corpse, presented as if a meal. From the way there's robes off to the side, it looks like it may have been a cultist that was either disappointing or volunteered to die. It's hard to say. Either one is a very viable option. The head, where the head should be, you just see sitting there a metallic head, and it looks like the head of some kind of construct. And immediately, Taslin and Fetter, your minds go to that papers, the design.
Right.
And you see that this is a very elaborately designed metallic head. Very exaggerated. Longish nose, an elaborate metal handlebar mustache underneath that just goes out wide.
Oh, God.
And the eyes you see are rounded in complex gears.
Oh, it's TikTok. From Return to Oz.
And as a flourish, you see that it has a permanent metal cap and metallic feather atop it.
Yeah.
This thing is excessive.
Yeah.
But you sense that the Horn Devil, as she sits at the table, the head of the table, and just kind of pats it gently, she likes the excessiveness. You've seen my new friend, and the one who I've been enjoying. Come, sit down, take a seat, and let's eat. Let's compare notes. Please, they volunteered for the end of their stay, and they volunteered to be eaten. So we got to honor them that way, at least.
It's about time the meat realized that they were the meat. You know what I mean? And I am profoundly Taz is probably a little put off by this. I do not blanch. I am not at all. I'm just fine with all of this at this point.
Yep. Nope. I actually reach over and take off a piece and just chomp down. I'm not disturbed by it at all either.
Yeah, I'll take out Mom's knife and fly off a piece of leg.
Yeah, and it's the way the body's been prepared. It's been prepared enough to be softened enough and cooked enough.
Sure. That's how you serve it. It's carpaccio most of the time.
Right. And as Ezekiel says, I like to still think that there's some life left as I eat. And she digs in as well.
I mean, I do appreciate the presentation here, but we were also charged with a plan to kind of recollect some pieces of modern technology, and I think you may have one of the things that we've been charged with collecting.
Oh, yes, I was wondering about that. You see, when we first arrived here, this was waiting for us. It was just a head and no other parts, and I started to examine it, and it looks like it has more to it. Now, that may be obvious, but you never know. Some people have weird tastes. I have my share of heads back home.
I mean, don't we all?
So I've sent a bunch of cultists throughout this dwarven place to find the rest if they exist.
I mean, the funny thing is we just have plans. They were amongst the things we were charged with. So, I mean, this is kind of our first piece. Happy to keep the boss happy, you know what I mean? So.
Oh, well, indeed. I wasn't quite expecting instructions. That is helpful. That, you know how these things are. I don't much mind. It's the information that you and someone else know equals one information, right?
Sure.
Even us who are a bit higher up on the food chain, there's only so much we know. But, it's taken its stride.
Have they swapped folks at the top yet? Do you is Zakaya, you still the big cheese around here? How are things moving along?
I kick my feet up on the table.
She brightens at that. Yeah, someone is getting used to, there's a casual demeanor you're giving off that she's happy with. Yes, I unfortunately, I do not get, my mission does not end. I don't get to be swapped out. Would that I could clock out, being in sort of the management position I am. You're just salaried, right?
I know. Keep trying to put in for that overtime. It's never gonna...
Right. But in this case, I don't mind. It's the cultists that we have to cycle out a bit more because... And she looks at the table.
Obviously. What are we supposed to eat? Beef? Cats?
Ugh.
I mean, gross.
Ugh. I guess if you burn him enough, at least get a tressum with some meat on its bones or something.
Something,
right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
We heard that, and I'll kind of look towards Taz a little, we heard that our lady, blessed be her ascension into her most noble of positions, might be still seeking out some, perhaps unseemly usurpers, some heirs, to her glory that may want to see her overthrown. What news of that?
Well, I can tell you a few things that I know. I mean, seeing how you handle yourself coming in and your long trek, why not? I can give you some information, you can give me some information. For starters, I haven't heard a lot from home, from Phlegethos. I do miss the news, so keep that in the back of your tippy-top, all right? As you know, or maybe you don't, our mission here is to find a titan, some dormant stone thing, and convert it into some kind of device of some kind. That wasn't very clear to me. It's supposed to do something with blood. And she kind of shrugs, takes a huge bite out of just chest. And, I also got some other tasks at the behest of the Queen of Pain and Pleasure herself, Fierna. I think she has taken a fancy to this mission because of, the place we're trying to get into. That, what did they call it? Hold? The fall hold? At first I was like, when I arrived here, I wasn't quite sure that Fiona had all the information. This place is a shithole. But I guess there's more further in. She wants that place for herself, and who am I to not oblige?
Well, I mean, we have the altar pieces waiting outside, of course, but do those go to the fall hold? Do those go to that Titan?
If I recall, those are supposed to go to the Titan. I don't think there's anything in the hold that would necessarily have properties that would be useful. I mean, you know how it is with these sorts of things that use blood and souls and essence. You always need either a tower or something with historical significance, right? I mean, what more than a hand of some fucking Titan? Like, there's significance there. That's going to be more than just a fortress, a headquarters.
Certainly. Now, I'm sorry. I mean, we've been on the road so long with the equipment. Were you at Grizz and Orvald at all? Were you a part of that operation? Are you moving forward from there, or?
As they're talking, I'm just like chomping away at more of the meat, like beef jerky or licorice.
I'm just looking at Taz like, you can jump in anytime now if you want to fucking help me out.
I give him like a little wink and like a little shoulder shrug, like, you're doing great.
Ezekiel darkens a little bit. Well, that is one of those need to know things, and apparently I didn't need to know. When it comes to things from, she looks down, Nessus, there's a sense of it's going to be what it's going to be. And she leans in. I would like to know, before we get into the nitty-gritty of what we're doing here, what of home? I do miss it something fierce.
So Nessus, is that I'm just sorry, if is that one of the levels of hell that I'm supposed to know, or?
Yes, it's the big one, the big cheese, the ninth.
Oh, that's the ninth. So that's the Big Papa.
Yep.
That's the home office. Got it. Sweet. Awesome. Well, that's exciting. That just means that comes from real deep down. There's, I've heard that some agents of Dis might be trying to install themselves in favor with the king of the Dominion. Now, I don't really care much for all this Earth politics. I mean, I'd see the whole thing burn, frankly. But, I found that a bit odd. No mention of the little brother, obviously. And I heard, can you believe that I heard that some of the riders were actually thwarted at Edgewater? Can you believe it?
The Hellfire Riders.
Yeah, at least one or two of them. I mean, this is all secondhand, you know what I mean? We were just passing down through there, and as we were, trading off equipment and things, they said that a couple of them got sent back to the Hells. Can you believe it?
That is really wild. I had not heard that. That is...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Someone's going to be in trouble, right?
Well, yes, probably. You know how Fiona can be.
I kind of pipe in, just very, off to the side. Rumor has it that they were dispatched by one of Belial's bloodline.
Oh, that's insane. She keeps saying that, but that can't be real.
Fetter, at the mention of Belial's bloodline, you do see the Horn Devil's eyes flick.
Yeah.
In Taslin's direction. Very...
And I'm definitely, John, ear for deceit on all this stuff. I would love to try to figure out if this person is buying all of this bullshit we're heaping on them.
Okay.
How we're doing to that end. Or if she's just toying with her food, if we could.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Perception. Not awesome. 15.
As far as you know, she seems to be taking it in without too much skepticism. You're seeing a bit of over friendliness, but nothing's striking you so far as I'm on to you or anything like that.
Okay.
If anything, more right now in the immediate, desperate for news.
Sure.
And very interested in the mention of Belial.
When the next time Taz is talking for a bit, or if she's going to follow up with that, I want to to pull out the pocket watch kind of just casually and look and see how we're doing on time for me.
Okay.
For this hour of disguise that
yeah, that's right.
Tazlin, are you elaborating when you mention that to her? Just like,
That's kind of all I supply for a second. Just
Okay.
rumor has it that they were dispatched by one of Belial's bloodline.
No, pish and tosh, and I'll just pull my watch out, kind of take a drink, and
well, can I? Okay, let's be real here for a minute, folks. You know, I don't tell this to everybody, so you're gonna have to keep this on the hush hush. But I like the way you guys are acting here, and you're digging right into the cultists. You know their place. I'm supposed to be looking for some progeny here, Belial. Don't know why, but I've got to either find, document, or if need be, kill anyone who is under his bloodline. It's a very weird request, and one from Miss Pleasure and Pain herself.
straight from straight from Fiona. Well, look at you.
Yes, I know. It is a private task. And she, like, her wings even shudder a little bit and just, like, glee at the responsibility. Like,
Well, you know our great orgasmic lady. She certainly takes those prophecies to heart.
Yes. It may be nothing, you know.
But you weren't given any specifics as far as whom that might be? Just anyone of Belial's bloodline that happens to wander around.
Yeah, supposedly I'll find my information here in the general sense, on this stinking piece of rock that we call this planet, this plane. But I will admit, I haven't put much work into it because, well, it just takes some time and...
Yeah, get acclimated, you know?
Right, it takes some time to get acclimated to the world and this... She clicks her tongue and just breathes through her nose. Ugh, this place.
It just tastes gross, am I right? Like, ugh.
Yes, there's no pleasure in this atmosphere. But, yeah, that's one of my tasks, alongside of securing this hold that I'm supposed to go to for Fiona. It's hers now.
Yeah, certainly.
And doing this Titan thing. But,
Yeah.
like, no word on how we're going to get the... down there, where that is.
You've not gone any deeper than Dorvendale, where we are currently?
No. Like I said, I've sent out my grunts to find the pieces for this construct.
And no one's come back.
She does a long hum. That does bode unfortunate, doesn't it?
You know how this goes. I am nothing if not a bit ambitious, and we've been fucking walking around like a goddamn delivery service for the last little bit. Why don't I take my team and head in a bit for you? You relax, you stay here. We'll take, we'll try to find the pieces of whatever this guy used to be, and we'll see what we find out about the Titan. We'll come report back. How's that sound?
Excellent. I quite like this idea.
Yeah, hang out, relax.
Yes, and it's good. It's good. You understand in the hierarchy your place in all this, and
Of course. Happy to serve. But yeah, I mean, I hope you understand. I've got my blood up a little bit, and, the taste of some fresh meat's always exciting, and perhaps there's some sort of big nasty back in that deeper end that's knocking off those meat sacks. Let me go take care of it for you.
Sure. If you want to see some fun shit, I sent my pet Audiok toward the back, where it's all caved in, to, I don't know, dig through some stuff. So just, if you're going there, be careful. She carves off a piece of shoulder and tosses it to you.
Those goddamn trash monsters, but I guess, you got to keep the occasional demon around for something, am I right?
Yes. I will let you take your leave and explore this place as you must.
I mean, do you mind? I hate to ruin your presentation here. Can we take Colonel TikTok here and see if we can make any sense out of what he's supposed to be?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Fantastic.
Don't keep him forever. I like the look of this fella. And
Of course, but maybe if it's a whole thing, he can run around and fetch us all ale and meat. Wouldn't that be great?
Meat. All right, you may go. And she leans back and continues just working on her food, and you essentially retreats a bit into herself.
Cool. So I'll scoop up the head, and make eyes at Taz, and then a pleasure to formally make your acquaintance. We so often are divided by time and missives, and it's lovely to, yeah, you get it. Thanks for the meet.
Indeed. And if the need strikes, you get bored, you don't find what you're looking for, come by.
Certainly.
I would love to play for a little bit.
Of course.
And she smiles the toothiest grin you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna make a big show of, like, you know, whatever sort of cape swoop, very grandiose exit, kind of flap the wings a little bit, and then just right to the outside of the cathedral and be like, meat sacks, make yourselves useful, we're heading out on a mission.
I'm a little slow getting up from the table and just still chomping down like beef jerky or licorice, and give her a little wink and follow him out.
She winks back. How about you come back on too? And she continues with what she's doing, her contemplation, her meal, her general lazing about. And as you guys leave, the chain devils go in and start back with whatever they were doing. You hear chains rustling around.
When in doubt,
don't see much else.
Eat human flesh away from the paladin. You know what I mean? This is just some classic D&D tips and tricks. How to be lawful evil.
Always a good decision.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll try to meet up with them, and I just want to keep, like, trying to head forward however we feel, like, wherever forward, southward seems to be.
John, is this other cultist just kind of hanging out with us?
Yeah, cut back too, please.
Yeah.
I want to hear exactly how that went.
Well, no, I meant because you guys had moved up, and the cultist is still standing right there, so I'm curious what's...
Yeah, so while they were having their dinner on human remains, the cultist was just standing awkwardly by, just like, so, how are your bosses? They treat you well? They let you have some fun too? And Sonny just tried, like, keeping her back to him constantly, like a old first-person shooter sprite. Just everywhere he looks, like she's just back to him. Yeah, guess so. In a weird voice. Oh yeah, cool. He's trying to come up with something. Well, I guess I should see, what the boss wants. Yeah, I will. Okay, I'll see you guys around. And then he just turns abruptly and he heads back, starts heading towards the cathedral, thinks better of it, and then resumes his post because he remembers he actually had a post. And then around that time, after about enough awkwardness had passed,
yeah,
you guys arrive and you just see Sunny and Yusuf standing there. Yusuf has her back to you still, just...
As I walk up, I'm like, let's go. All right, onward to blood and glory. I don't know.
I throw the rest of the flesh that's in my hand over into the lava and just kind of like spit what I was chewing.
I've still got that shoulder bit.
Okay.
I was like, do you want to put it in the bag or something? I don't want to fucking carry this thing. The like human arm that we've been given.
Yeah, and about now, I would say you're starting to get close to the end. You can sense it, Fetter.
Yep.
Between the traveling in, the waiting, the disguising everyone, the very lengthy meal, just the deviling, the posturing you were doing with Ezekiel.
Let's go. And I want to just at least try to obfuscate myself stealthily as we make our way out of there.
Yeah. It just depends on which way you're going, guys. It looks like you're heading towards the west.
Yep.
I mean, I think generally based on our map, right? Well, I mean, is there a way to, because our map's got Dwarvendale and then Fallhold below us and then the Titan to the west. So if there's no way that we can see to go south, then I think we want to go west. And I'll kind of posit that to everybody too.
Okay. And for sake of this, I'll assume you guys have started to head down to this, like, next platform.
Yeah, I want to get out of this I gotta at least want to get to a place where I can not be me, or not be not me, as the case may be.
I'll do what I can to keep line of sight obscured between the chapel and Fetter, just in case his disguise wears off.
Yeah, and thankfully, as you guys descend down the stairs, there are more like caved-in parts and things like that. So where you are right now is obscured enough from the cathedral to where they'd have to actually come up to maybe one of the stalls and look over. There's enough broken down debris and rock and things like that. Yeah, you guys are obscured from any prying eyes currently at the moment.
All right.
The cultists are at their post back up north, and yeah, the Horn Devil is still enjoying her meal and whatever else she wants to do with those Chain Devils.
I like to see it as like cinematically, like I walk into a shadow as the Ernest and then come out the other side as me or something.
Yeah.
Well, that was fucking close. That is not a powerful spell. I mean, that's just a genetic thing. I am shocked that no one has seen through that yet. Ooh, Jesus. I'm just gonna like shake it out.
My eyes just get really wide, like...
It really, Yusuf, it is really not. Like, all right, I'm going to take a drink and just be like, well, that could have been weird.
It would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, we could have fucking roughed him up, I suppose. That's a beefy gal.
I would have regaled her about Phlegethos. It would have been fine.
Sure. Well, let's keep moving. So, Yusuf, fun thing, apparently the Titan is the altar, so... That's weird. I figured that it was probably in Fallhold or Eastonfall, but apparently not. Apparently the Titan has something to do with the altar here. So, weird. We're apparently the tip of the spear. No one else is here. She's been sitting down here waiting for someone to show up. So I feel like that the other part of our ruse, waiting in the bloody heap behind us, might fall apart pretty soon as well. So I think we gotta go forward and quickly. Apparently all of their scouts have disappeared, which is weird. So I think we gotta beat feet. Otherwise, everybody that we've walked past in the last hour and a half is gonna pull swords and come for us. So, and I want to be walking as we're doing this, by the way. I know we haven't really moved on the map, but...
Yeah, it just depends on which direction you're going. You're starting to head down, because to where you are on this platform right now, as you were getting changed and all that, you can see that there's a northern stairs that heads downwards towards the lava, and then there's one that seems to be heading down toward a dark kind of cavern, deeper cavern.
Probably south.
Yeah, I feel like south's the way to go. Yusuf, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, this map is rudimentary at best.
South and west, I'm guessing.
Yeah, until we hit a wall. Apparently there's a pet Odiok up here somewhere, so...
Sorry, what?
Like a fucking trash demon. Like, I know they're handy for digging and rooting through shit and disposing of bullshit, but a weird choice of pet, if you ask me, but meh. So we should be on our guard for that. We have some meat to give it.
Some meat?
You know, meat. Just meat.
Okay.
But that's not going to hold it off for too long. So south we go, I guess. But let's get some distance between them and us before this all fucking house of cards falls over.
I'm going to reach out and like, Galhan, is there anything on your radar, so to speak? Or anything you see coming? Or is it still pretty quiet?
You get negative in terms of response.
Okay.
So right now you're fine. Galahad doesn't seem to... There's nothing nearby. No one's coming out to explore or to catch up.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like because we landed about the same time as the party before the one that was already here, like, I feel like we might have a little bit of time. Because, like, we were second in line. We took out number 2. We came here. We took out number 1. And now we walked in as number 1. And there's nothing directly behind us. We're waiting on number 3 at this point. At least on our timeline, coming from the direction we did, but they could be coming from anywhere, so.
Right, but, you know, we made a big parade with, what's her name? What's her? Ezekiah? Ezekiel.
Like Ezekiel.
Yeah, with Ezekiel, who seems to be the lieutenant in charge of this whole thing, about us showing up with all the bits. So when we don't have the bits...
Got it.
You know, she's going to figure out that...
Regardless of time, it's still not something that we should drag our feet on?
No, I'm just...
I mean, we've bought ourselves some time, and we have a sense of who we'd be up against, but...
Right. I wasn't saying go slow. I'm saying that go fast, but we might have a buffer.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
All right. So, shall we ahead?
All right.
And I'll take point again, I guess, and try to just see out in front of us as much as I can.
All right. From where you were on the platform up above, it seems fairly well intact, a little bit destroyed the further you got past the cathedral and caved in. But as you take this southern route down the platform, things start to deteriorate a bit more. Eventually, as you go down the stairs, you reach this landing, and you've gone down far enough now to where you can't see the cathedral and the upper platform at all. There's enough stone that has enveloped you down in this cave where now you are in a more of a delve type of place. You see rocks and stone, and the ground itself is dug up, chiseled away, and the stone seems to be cut into. And Fetter, your first thought as you get a lay of the land is that this is a dig. This looks mined out.
Right, mined out, but in like a big round, like there's no obvious way forward sort of way, or?
No, you do see a couple of ways. There's a pathway to the northwest and a pathway as you're walking around to the northeast. And down here towards the south, you do see a few different paths ahead. One is completely covered and caved in, which is the southern tip. And then you've got a path that seems to open up and go down, directly down, immediately south. And then there's one to the southwest and the farther southwest. But they all seem to have various different heights that they go down as you explore. So you look down and, that one's a ways down.
Yeah.
You look down another one, that one's a little bit further down. It's hard to tell until you actually get up there and examine it more, but...
So, band meeting, hey, random question, and I was just thinking about this the other day. Didn't we have like a weird potion with an eyeball floating in it that we picked up back at one of those towers? Like some sort of a clairvoyance potion? I mean...
if we do, it's in my other notebook. Hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, Azakela seemed to think that they were having trouble locating the Titan. I mean, I don't want to blow our wad with all of our magical trinkets, but perhaps this would be a time where it would be beneficial to maybe get a leg up on getting out ahead of our adversaries.
Let me see.
I don't know who's holding on to it, so I'm assuming it's in the bag.
We have a potion of... Oh no, you have that potion of fire breath. We have potion of heroism, hill giant strength.
I used the hill giant one to climb up the... Yeah, we found it in the laboratory, I think, when we got all the other stuff. I have potion of clairvoyance, eyeball floating in it, milky white substance.
I don't think we ever identified it, though.
Oh.
Either way, I mean, it'll take a bit, but I can divine.
Where are we going?
Yeah, I have divination.
Right. How many paths are in front of us, John? You said 3?
Yeah, there are 3 paths that go forward and then down through the rock. And there's behind you, there are 2 other ones. But they seem to be in the same way, like since you're here, they look like they've been dug down. So judging from what you've seen on the ground, if this is a mining thing, there are different pathways, different veins that they're going down into. So you've got the 3 ahead and the 2 behind.
Can I do I mean, it seems like it might be more of a survival, but kind of a perception check for tracks, movement in and out of these places? Is one path more well-worn than the other one? Something like that. Eye for detail style?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more survival.
Taz, you want to... That's your whole vibe, hanging out in the woods, right? You want to help me
Sure.
look for tracks? Oh, that's not terrible.
If you think you're fine, then I can start casting my...
Your divination? How long does that take? Sorry,
It is a ritual, so it'll take like 10 minutes.
10 minutes? All right. I got my survival's a 19.
All right, cool. That works. Yeah, the one that's directly south seems a bit more worn, used, and the ladder looks worn out a bit more. As you get up to the edge, you see that there is a ladder that extends downward, and it does look more used, a bit more worn. And the other ones, the one that's further to the east a little bit, you notice that's just a drop. There's no ladder or anything, but you see that you could easily climb it down. Like with some rolls, you could get down there. And then to the far east, there's another ladder that looks to be in rough shape, but from disuse.
Right. Well, this seems to be the most well-worn one, which also weirdly means that their scouting parties have used it and either not come back or haven't found anything. So I don't know. What do we think? Eeny, meeny, miny?
I'm like, I've stuck incense into the ground and I'm like drawing symbols in the dirt and
No offense, but I feel like with 10 minutes we might be able to surmise which one's which just by looking.
Well,
I mean, I'm all for let's use some tricks. I'm fine with that too. I just don't. At some point, we're gonna hear "what the fuck" very loudly from up there, and then they're all gonna come run down here and want to kick our ass. So
Right. All the more reason to
yeah,
not wait around.
But thoughts? I mean, if as opposed to striking out blindly, I'm also fine to, take the 10. And if we feel like that's going to give us a strong direction of where to go. I mean, fuck it. Go ahead, Taz. Do your thing.
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't stop then. So she's still doing her thing.
I'll at least go down this ladder and see what I see at the bottom. You know what I mean? I won't go too far, though.
Sunny also chimes in. Oh, I could, if you want, I could scout ahead a little bit, turn into a spider.
No, I mean, stay put for the moment, Sunny.
Okay.
Stay put. Sorry. I mean, Yusuf, unless you want to, just stay put. So while Taz is doing that, I want to head to the south ladder and
you're gonna head down it.
Yeah, very, 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 very stealthily.
You start to head down the ladder, and for a while there, maybe a few dozen feet or so, you think that maybe because it's well worn that it's gonna break, but this one seems pretty sturdy. Probably why it was well used and well worn. But there's a few rungs that are a bit smoother, so from use, so you have to be a little bit careful, but no rolls this time around. And you make your way to this smaller landing that's a bit more tighter, a bit more cramped. There's a lower ceiling of rock. It looks like this was just carved as a way to get down further, or they started carving here. Judging from the harsher hewn rock on the sides, it looks like maybe mining started and it was like, no. You sense that this was a pivot off point, but also a path forward. And you see another bit of a drop that isn't nearly as far down as where you were in your ladder. Maybe about 10 feet or so.
Right. Well, I'll go down and at least kind of poke my head over and try to see down and what I can see from there. If I'm just looking down into a pit, then I get it, but
okay.
I don't want to descend. Particularly if there's no easy discernible way back up, I don't want to, descend down. I just want to take a look.
Yeah, and you do peer over the edge, and it does look like that this particular drop is fairly easy to scramble on. It feels more, I wouldn't say it's as abrupt as maybe a challenge wall that you climb. You're still able to sense like, oh, I could actually grab here, grab here, grab here. It looks like it is a path to climb down.
Okay. I'll turn back at this point and just kind of and climb back up the ladder and report back what I've seen and just kind of wait for the divination to work its way out.
Yeah, and I would say by the time you do that, climb down the ladder, kind of get your sense of the place, look further down the second area to see what's in store there, and then head back. That is about 10 minutes, I would wager. And yeah, you return. And Tazlin, your spell is done, your ritual. Mm-hmm. And what are the parameters of that? What is...
I get to ask you a question, and you have to answer me truthfully.
Okay.
So, because it's putting me in contact with God or a God servant or something like that.
Oh, the God servant, yes.
Oh, good. I'm sitting here going, Raven Queen, do not fuck this up. And I ask, what is the quickest way for us to get to the Titan successfully?
You do your ritual, and you see down here, of all places, a raven just chilling on the rock, pecking at it, and at first you think, oh no, it's just going to point me in a direction, and then you literally, in your mind, you hear it just suddenly it talks to you in a strange voice, like, past the cathedral.
Like, I look at the raven and I go, like, literally back the way we came past the cathedral?
Yes.
Well, what the fuck's down here then?
Through a wall?
No, not through a wall. It looks past you. You'll find something you need down here, but the path forward is on the big road, past the cathedral. And it pecks at the rock more, like, tuck, tuck.
Like, straight behind the cathedral?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I guess time to go looking. I wonder if the thing we need is altar related, Titan related, or perhaps tiny robot boy related.
Or Tressum related.
Or Tressum related.
Tiny robot boy.
All right, well, I'm going to head down this way then, I suppose. Anyone want to... Do we dare split up? Sunny can go down the rougher whatever if she wants to go spider walking or whatever, or I'll just keep heading down this way. I don't know. What do you want to do? I mean, we're down here. We might as well look.
Well, I mean, I would say, like, maybe not split up. We haven't so far, and we've been fine.
Yeah, let's not split up.
Okay.
That never goes well.
Well, there's a way forward down this way.
I come down the stair.
And Yusuf, for yourself, as you're going down the stairs in your heavier plate, there's a few rungs that are smooth from multiple use. So I would just do a dexterity check, not a save necessarily, just a check just to see if you can handle that with the heavier armor. And
So dex save?
a dex check. This is just to see if you can, like, if you are going to encounter any trouble or...
16.
I am gonna go kind of like to the other two stairways and at least like look. I might not go down them, but I'll just see how far I can see.
Okay. So as you peer over the edge, you see a much rougher looking ladder that leads down. It's about 40 feet, but there's enough glinting light from the stones below that you can still see further than you normally might. And you see some jagged rock and special stones and metals, but you can't quite place them from where you're standing. But you do sense a small little vein down there.
Okay, shiny's that way. How about this way? Going down to the southeast corner.
You see another empty vein, one that was tapped a little bit and found nothing, and a path further on that goes further down. But the ladder there is missing rungs, like maybe every 4 or 5 rungs. You've got a bit more of a challenge going down that. But you sense that the rock is starting to curve to the side a little bit in the carving. So just based off your survival and the way that everyone, Fetter and Yusuf were heading down the center point, you guess you could probably reach them from this way with a little bit more effort than just going down the straight path.
Okay. With a quick look over my shoulder towards the cavern that has all the gemmy gems and shiny rocks, I follow Yusuf and Sunny and Fetter down.
Okay. You reach another larger landing that is more dug through than above. You see a few untapped veins scattered about, as well as caved-in portions and large rock that look to have fallen from gaps from above. And the air down here is much more foul than above by a huge... It's noticeable compared to even just the level above. And off to the side, off to the east, you notice something. It's 4 larger stalagmite-styled gems, crystals, or whatever, just bursting from the ground. A few of them look like a recognizable gem that, maybe not isn't as valuable, but could fetch a good price. But there's one that, Taslim, to you looks immediately familiar, almost as if you've been playing with these gems on a flying boat.
Oh boy.
And on the map, it's the big blue one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll very slowly, eye for detail in front of me. Be like, is that a big scarab gem?
Yep.
Well, that's fun. What about these 3? What do you make of them? They worth something?
If you want to do a survivalist check, you can see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll assist him.
Not great. 9 total.
9 total.
I rolled separately as well, if he doesn't, giving it a look over myself, and got a 16. If you want to let me do that, considering I assisted him.
Yeah, that's fine. You sense that it's not nearly as valuable of a vein. They're tiger eye. They got kind of a goldenish center. You know that they don't fetch much more than like maybe 10 gold per half pound. So it's something, but you said you see them untouched. So there's a reason why they haven't been fully excavated out just yet, or they weren't back in the day when the dwarves were here and mining.
Tiger eye, not really worth a ton.
But it is the skirl that does catch your attention because it doesn't match. It doesn't seem to be of the same physiology of everything else. It just stands out.
And pry that loose. Take a chunk. What do we think?
I think there might have been a cavern back the way we came that had smaller ones. This seems a little bit too large for us to get to and carry by ourselves, especially if we're dealing with a time frame here. We couldn't break this apart.
Right. How big's this chunk, John? It's coming out of the ground?
I would say it's about 5 feet tall off the ground and maybe about 3 feet thick, just almost as tall as you guys, and pretty big around.
That is not small.
No. And Yusuf, what are we putting in the hand of the Titan?
A seed.
A powerful energy converting gem seed?
I think it's something he already has.
Yeah, it's a seed. Just a seed.
All right. Well, according to the talking bird, something we need's down here. So that's a pretty hefty magical chunk of junk. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, there is another cavern back the way we came that has more, possibly carryable ones.
All right, well.
Yusuf, as they're going over things, you start making your rounds, as I've seen you doing. And as you cross around that corner, you do see wedged into the ground a bit, 2 metallic arms sticking out of the ground, just like their joints are loosed and just resting out as if they were just jammed in there or shoved in there.
Oh my god, we're totally gonna have a C-3PO on Chewbacca's back situation happening here.
Kind of, I'll walk over and I'll give him a tug. Wait, are they sticking out so the palms are out, or like the palms are like jammed into the ground and it's just the shoulder sockets that I'm seeing?
You're seeing the hands.
The real question is, do you rub the dust off before you tug?
Always rub and tug at the same time.
A little bit of a rub and tug.
Just make sure it's not dry, for the love of God. None of the action.
What are you talking about?
Stop it.
Make it so sandy for you.
God, it's so dry.
So dry.
Like the Sahara Desert.
Why would you? No. I'll go over and pluck them out of the ground, I guess.
Yeah, you go in to pluck them out of the ground, and as you pull them out, there's some rock debris that comes off with them and clears away. And as you do, you happen to see just in front of like where you pulled the arms out from, this chitinous mandibled face just looking up at you. It blinks and bursts out at the ground at you.
Oh shit!
And let's roll some initiative, folks.
No boy.
Not going to lie, I'm still hung up on the whole eating your cultist thing. And in each telling of this tale, it doesn't get any better for me. Blech. With a capital fucking B. Anyway, looks like our heroes have a bit of a front-fetch quest on their hands. If you want to hear what happens next, just find me next week in a place that actually has ale, and I'll regale you with more of these Demon Dayz.
Hold on one second. Kobold! John, is that your cat I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's Dave.
Hold on one second. I gotta let him out.
Was that Dave or Killer?
Dave?
That's what I thought.
Woohoo.
Hi, Dave. I miss your fluffy butt.
Oh, God.
Good boy, you son cat.
Guys, $20 well spent for these dragon tooth daggers. That's all I'm saying.